Once upon a time, in a land far, far away called Florida, there was a little girl named Bella who had a dream to one day be a princess. Except not today. Okay, fine. One day, how do you wear this thing? There we go. Maybe I can't figure it out. It's like a mirror image, so it's just kind of funny. I am a princess, and I'm going to be reading a princess story today that I hope you all will enjoy. Bella now wants to play with the little princess thing, so I guess I have to give up my crown to my daughter, which I guess all good queens have to do. So hopefully you enjoyed today's story. It's Once Upon a Timely, and there is a series of these books. There's Oceanly and there's also Animally, and they use these words that end in the ly to express how much you love someone. And so this one, as you can tell, uses fairy tale stories that always begin with once upon a timely to show how much you love someone. And so I thought this would be a great way to start our Monday off. So it's Once Upon a Timely, and it says, whether you love them glowingly like a dragon's fire or toweringly like a castle's spire, this adverb adventure is perfect for sharing from once upon a time to happily ever after. So we'll go ahead and get started. So as you can see, this is going to teach your little ones about adverbs. So, I love you flowingly like Rapunzel's hair. I love you observantly like the baby bear. I love you sweetly like Hansel and Gretel. I love you unbreakably like Excalibur's metal. So you can already tell there is rhyming text, which children love rhyming text when you read. You can also see that it's showing different stories, so then you can talk with your children about the different fairy tales. You can also see that the pages are shiny, which means that they are wipeable in case they get anything on them, and very thick, like plastic-like pages, so that's really, makes it easier so they don't get messed up. But let's keep going because this book is just so adorable. I love you spellbindingly like Merlin the wizard. I love you extraordinarily like the Snow Queen's blizzard. Aren't those illustrations just so cute? I love you sensitively like the princess and the pea. I love you practically like pig number 3. So I think that's cute because it tells you practically like pig number 3, and then you can ask your children like, well, why was he the most practical pig of the bunch? I love you luminously like Little Red's cape. I love you daringly like Thumbelina's escape. I love you transformatively like the frog prince in the pond. I love you magically like the fairy godmother's wand. So cute, isn't it? I love you truly like Robin Hood's aim. I love you uniquely like Rumpelstiltskin's name. I love you wonderfully like Alice's land. I love you promisingly like the beans in Jack's hand. I love you genuinely like Geppetto's boy. I love you beautifully like the beast's hard-won joy. I love you humbly like the duckling turned swan. I love you unforgettably like the Little Mermaid's song. I love you invisibly like the emperor's new clothes. I love you enchantedly like Sleeping Beauty's repose. And see, I like how they chose a word that's not often used, but that you can teach your little ones about. I love you triumphantly like Sailor Sinbad's success. Take a little picture of that. Ah, this is one of my favorites. I love you wishfully like Aladdin's requests. I love you heartily like the red hen's flower. I love you imposingly like the Bremen Town Tower. I know that's one I'm not familiar with. I love you confidently like the gingerbread man. I love you lightheartedly, like Peter Pan. I love you brilliantly, like Tinkerbell's twinkle. I love you restfully, like Rip Van Winkle. I love you invariably, like Mulan's might. I love you purely, like Snow White. I love you nimbly, like Puss in Boots. I love you invitingly, like the Pied Piper's flute. It's got this cute little Puss in Boots right there, it's so cute. I love you helpfully, like the elves making shoes. I love you ingeniously, like the Billy Goat's ruse. Oh, there's another great word for little ones to learn. Look at this beautiful page here. I love you toweringly, like a castle's spire. I love you glowingly, like a dragon's fire. I love you courageously, like a knight defending. I love you satisfyingly, like a happy ending. I love you infinitely, like the printed word. I love you memorably, like stories spoken and heard. I love you everlastingly, once upon a timely. I love to read with you beside me. Oh my goodness, it's just the most adorable book. So if you love fairy tales and you want to show your children how much you love them, this is just the sweetest book. And the repetition is really good for new readers. You have the rhyming that's really good to help them practice those sounds. It has new words that you don't often see. So many great things that you can get out of this book. And it can make you a little princess or a prince with this fancy little crown. I hope that you enjoyed this story, Once Upon a Timely. It's one of my favorites. I absolutely love it, and I hope that you did too. So happy Monday, happy Honeybee Tales, and I'll see you all next week.